Hey, everybody, welcome to Indiana Success Happy Hour. Is this Real Estate Edition?
Real Estate Edition.
That's Brian and Brad Edition. Hey, Brian Quinlan here from Daniel's Real Estate.
Brad Nickham from Nest Mortgage Group.
I want to start this episode by wishing you a happy National Tequila Day as we are recording on your day.
I appreciate that.
I feel in the future it may just be called Brad Nickham Tequila Day.
I don't know. I woke up this morning. I went to my desk with a big glass of tequila.
Surprising.
And I just been working like this all day.
Does your boss mind you drinking on the job?
Yeah. Fire me, Brad. No, I didn't really. I didn't have our first drink until we got started here to do the podcast. And I appreciate that, though. I did not know that today was International Tequila Day.
I'm not sure it's international. It's national.
It's actually International Tequila Day.
Worldwide.
And where I messed up is I did not make an International Tequila Day video to go out today.
Wow.
I really suck at
Really
planning those day things.
You ought to work on that. Speaking of tequila, I see a new bottle with a really fancy top on there.
Dude, this is pretty cool. This tequila, I got a message from my buddy Johnny Rodriguez, who works at the Bimberg. Johnny's like, hey, I met these guys here in town that own a tequila, and it's pretty good brand. It's pretty tasty. And I was like, that's awesome. So Maxwell Park Tequila, they're actually originally from Oakland area, and Maxwell Park is a park in the town where they grew up.
Oakland, California?
Oakland, California. And this park was really special to their family. And they've lived here in Indianapolis for a long time. So they wanted to name it after that park, Maxwell Park. And the tequila is made at a very nice nom down in the Highlands, nom $14.99, I believe, without looking. Make sure my brain was right. Yeah, it's $14.99.
Very nice.
And good tequila, cool info here. And I'm going to learn a whole lot about it when I meet with Dominic, the owner.
Okay.
And I believe he would be a great person to have on the show as one of our success hours, because not only does he have this company, but he's been very successful in a lot of other things. So
nice. All right.
We'll work on having him on here. And
I'll
go ahead and.
You said something about the tops on those.
Yeah. So the topper, it has similar to what you would get on a Blanton's bottle.
All right.
Right. The horses are all a little different. And there's a little letter at the bottom that spells out Blanton's.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Okay, see all those horses?
No, I know that they're unique.
They spell Blanton's.
Okay.
So this is the very first batch of Maxwell Park, and it has an M on it. And I don't know how much this changes on each one, but I know that you're eventually going to be able to spell out Maxwell Park.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah. So then kind of a goal there to continue to buy each batch and get each one. So yeah, good tequila. Pretty excited about it.
Very nice.
What do you got over there?
So I paid a visit to our friends at Sun King. Hello, Kevin and gang, and picked up some beers, and I picked up a new t-shirt. So I realized I do own a Sun King shirt, but it's long sleeve and it's hella hot outside. And so while this does look like maybe the Indiana Fever logo, it's Indiana flavor.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It says Sun King down there at the bottom. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I picked up a couple of beers.
What do we got here? That's
today,
got a corn cob on it.
It says Brewers of the Corn, not to be confused with Children of the Corn. A CBC commemorative lager. It is actually says Indiana Brewers Guild. So honestly, I don't remember what CBC stands for. Maybe I'll put it up here on the screen. But recently they had a large convention of brewers from around maybe the world, but at least the country, come here to Indianapolis. And a guild of those brewers got together and created this beer. So this is available at Sun King. I don't know what other brewers were involved, and I don't know where else you might be able to find this, but this is definitely, as you can see, a nice golden colored beer. I have had it before. It's very much like the light lager beers that I do enjoy. It's very refreshing.
Does it have anything to do with corn?
I would imagine so. Yeah, feel free to read that, as my eyes can't see writing that small. So it's a little more hoppy than most of the beers that I like. It's got a mild bitterness to it. Not so bad that I'm not going to enjoy the rest of that. But, I guess in terms of things that I normally like, it's a little hoppier.
I think the can's awesome. I love it.
I do. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So go check out Brewers of the Corn, at least available at Sun King and wherever else.
So that actually leads into what I think we should talk about today.
Okay, here we go.
I'm pretty excited about this. Thanks to you, I get a lot of tequila, and I've really gotten some amazing experiences because you told me I should talk about tequila on the internet, and I really thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So I'm fired up that now there is a channel, a show called Beers with Brian.
Yes, there is. And as of the recording of this, we're entering, well, I guess no, not entering, nearing the second full week completion of Beers with Brian. And my goal right now is I'm trying to put out 3 new episodes a week.
Okay.
And cut that up into shorts. So there may be other, shorter segments that come out as well. But, and when we had Tequila J Bear on the show, he was really helpful to me. He was, number one, encouraging for me to go ahead and do that, basically saying, beer content is not saturated. And, my answer to that was, like my beer taste just is, and taste in general, is just not that refined. And we've talked about that on the show quite a bit. And he was like, you know what? That doesn't matter. He said, that's actually almost better because there are so many beer shows out there where they get just so into the weeds on the hops and the forward flavor of this. And, that really, gets you on the aftertaste, whatever. And I don't sense any of that stuff oftentimes.
Like this one, I feel like I got my toes in the sand.
Right? And so he said, beers for the average guy. And that's pretty much the subtitle of my show.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm focusing on Indiana beers. Several of them have been Indianapolis beers, including Sun King, of course. I still got to do one on this particular beer, but I've done one from the region up in the northwest part of Indiana. And, it's slow going right now. I could use some more followers, and, the episodes are short because I just don't have a ton to talk about. I'm just promoting beers and trying to, promote Indiana beers at this point and trying to give what it is that I'm sensing out of it. So there we are.
I kind of dig it. And you know what I think is going to happen is...
What's that?
The more you do this and the more that you're tasting to taste, the more tastes you're going to start tasting.
You're probably right.
It's a funny thing to say, but...
No, yeah.
When I first
totally get it.
Drinking tequila, I get taste like tequila. And then now I can do 4 blinds and usually... pretty close to what actual distillery they're made at based on the taste, right? So I think you're going to learn to taste things in beer that you don't taste in beer today. And it's going to be more exciting as your journey grows as well.
What's, I guess, funny and maybe somewhat sad at the same time, like my wife, one of her superpowers is tasting things.
Yeah.
She can just pick out the most minuscule flavor in something and be right on. She can't stand beer. And she is pretty much gluten-free. Not that she has an allergy to it. She just doesn't do great in her body. And so she tries to avoid gluten. She would be my go-to person for like, here, taste this. What should I be tasting here?
Yeah.
But not that I won't, but she's not going to be ultra helpful in a case where she could be very helpful.
I can't help you either.
No,
I can't have beer either.
Can't.
So
you actually, I believe, have significantly worse symptoms with gluten than Stephanie does. So
I'm allergic, but
yeah, we don't want that. So I'm on my own, I guess, and we'll see where that goes. And so thanks for the encouragement. And, if you could do me a favor and go check out the show. The episodes, I've had one as little as like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And I think the longest episode so far is like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's awesome. But, I think it's going to be really cool. You're going to run across some really cool beers. You've got a couple things to talk about, and the cans are cool. There's a story behind, every beer that's being made by craft, breweries. It's hard to get out there and talk about a Bud Light, right? But you also could do things like compare the taste of one beer up against, a nationally made beer, or
I like yourself. I could start talking to some of the brewers and
talk to brewers,
see what they want to say about their beers, which can be very helpful. Obviously, I'm sure Kevin would probably come on the show with me. So
absolutely.
All right.
If you ever need a bar, to shoot a podcast at, to do things like that. I don't know that I could switch out the background.
I know. That's the hard part.
Because there's tons to move.
Yeah. Beers with Brian in the tequila bar may not be the best. Actually, I shoot them in my garage.
I see.
With the fridge behind me that has a whole bunch of stickers on it. And that ideally is going to grow over time as hopefully, either I'm going to acquire some stickers on my own or people might send them to me, and that would be cool. So.
Well, I'm going to help out with that today.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Are these beer stickers or tequila stickers?
Well, you're going to get a Sol Tu Noches sticker, a little bottle of Sol Tu Noches.
All right.
And then the Sol Tu Noches, that's sun tonight, right?
Sure.
Sol.
I know, yeah.
So then how about also
a G4?
A G4.
Nice.
A G4 sticker for the fridge. And also from my good buddies Arturo and Sarah Lamas, how about a Lost Lore, a sticker for the fridge as well?
I don't drink the tequila, but I guess I'll represent the stickers. Let's go.
Yeah, they're stickers, right?
They are.
Fill that fridge up.
You know what? The image on the screen is not that tight to tell what really all the stickers are anyway. So
I'll also,
well, the additive free alliance.
Here's the thing. It's this is Tequila Cop.
Oh boy.
And he enforces additive free tequila. So excuse me. So that's a good one for you. And then, I'd like to look.
I believe I already have one of those on my.
You have one on the fridge, right?
Yeah, I believe I do.
This one goes on the back of the Tesla. So there you go.
No, it does not.
And then also have a.
Oh, I guarantee that's on the
there.
fridge.
Okay.
Real Estate Makes Us Drink for those of you scoring at home.
So is it fun? Are you enjoying doing it?
Yes. It gives me more to do, but again, the episodes are short. But I said this to Stephanie the other day as I recorded my most recent episode on my front porch. I was talking about a beer from Daredevil called Vacation.
Very cool.
Yeah. And, it was a hot day and I was like, you know what? We're sitting on the front porch just hanging out. I said, all right, well, I got to record an episode. It's a nice end of the day kind of beer and let's do it here. So I did. Which I liked, different background, different setting, whatever, see how that goes. And I told Stephanie, I recently went to Total Wine and I grabbed 6 individual beers like I often do. But I specifically chose 6 beers from Indiana because I knew I was going to talk about them on my show. Well, now, like at the end of the day, if I'm like, oh, I want to have a beer, I'm more selective on what I choose because I'm like, if I drink this and I got to do an episode, I really don't want to set all that up. And so, I guess it's going to be Coors Light today.
Well, and also I think your tastes are going to grow.
Potentially.
And you'll walk out there and then you'll go, you know what, today I really want one of these because
maybe
your tastes and your depth of understanding of what you're drinking is going to change.
We shall see.
Which will also change how you talk about it.
And I also think about, all right, well, if I knock out 2, 3, 4 episodes in a day, well, that's 2, 3, 4 beers that I'm drinking. What do I have going on later today that should I be drinking that much beer?
So I was thinking through that and I was thinking, so like for me, I will do usually 4 to 5 videos in a day. And I can't really do more than that because it burns your palate out.
Okay.
Right. If you're going to do a tasting of a tequila and you're going deep into those flavors, you got to do something to cleanse that palate before you do another one. And the difference for me is I can do a pretty big pour and taste it on camera. But when I'm done, I can put what's left back in the bottle.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, I cannot.
You got to finish the can of beer.
Or pour it out, I suppose. I mean, I could.
I mean, we're going to edit that out. So I was thinking, it'd be easier to do beer because you could do 5 or 6 of those and not get drunk. You'll get full.
Yeah, well, definitely get full. Yeah.
Well, I can do 5 of mine and be hammered.
Well, I think if I had 5, 16-ounce beers, I'd probably
you're gonna be hammered
pretty
too.
well hammered.
But you're going to be full. Like beers.
That 5th episode's going to be hilarious.
Beers with, like I would get so full, I probably couldn't do more than 2 beers and I'd be stuffed, where I can get through some tequilas and I try to do an informational show that maybe I don't drink in and then maybe a blind. And then right now I'm on a review run because I have so many tequilas to review, like Evolution 1250. These guys sent me a shirt and a hat. And
I think you've had Evolution on.
Had it on here on the show. I just did an interview with Todd, the owner, which is coming up. And I've also done a show with master distiller Ileana Partida, who makes this tequila at NOM 1522. And yeah, it's kind of fun. I think you're going to learn so much, and you'll eventually be nerding out like I do on tequila, I think. Maybe not.
I hope I'm just acquiring some free beers as you have with tequila. That would make me happy.
Hey, not just beers. I actually got a thing that pumps tequila out of the bottle.
That's right, you did.
It's by Red Sack.
That you did.
Yeah,
Coming on a future episode or past episode.
One of those, yeah.
One of those.
It'll pour a perfect shot. So
very nice.
So if you have a beer that you want Brian to review on his show, definitely put a comment
Keeping in mind, lagers. Oh, I'm not doing dark beers. There's no porters.
Well, see, those might be fun, though.
No.
Because if somebody sends it to you, and then you're going to be like,
yeah, that may be the funniest and shortest episode. This sucks.
But you can say why you don't like it. What about the flavor that you don't like? What's happening in your mouth?
I'm
telling you, it's going to be fun.
sure
every once in a while, I get tequila that I don't like. But on this show, because I believe that people have really dedicated a lot to create a brand and make their own tequila, that if I don't like it, it's not up to me to come on here and tell people bad things about it and, try to get somebody to not buy somebody's brand. So I don't, if I get a bad tequila sent to me, I have a personal conversation with the owner, explained why I'm not going to review it or talk about it and what I picked up. Right. And a lot of times that is tequila that has some type of additive chemical manipulation that gives a different flavor profile. But the difference of talking about a type of beer that you don't like isn't trashing the beer brand itself. It would be talking about why you don't like this deep koala chocolate coffee bean pooped beer. There's a coffee bean that gets cycled through a koala that then they make coffee out of it.
And I will not drink that beer
that is made out of that.
I won't even open that beer.
Yeah. So, but you could talk about why you don't like maybe some of the different flavors and what those flavors are that you don't like.
That may be an episode in and of itself.
I think it's the bitterness you don't like, isn't it?
Bro, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
It's a good chance. I have in the episodes I've done, I've learned something. IBUs. I really didn't even know what that meant.
And that is like a measurement of bitterness.
It is.
Beer, right?
And the funny part is the scale goes from 0, which is no bitterness,
it's like 25,000
to 120, and it's like listed as 120 plus. Keeping in mind that the human taste only goes up to about 110.
Oh,
like,
so
why do we have a scale that goes to 120 plus when if we're talking about bitterness and flavor, who cares?
But those nerd guys that have the flavor profile, like I listen to a podcast every other week called Whiskey Tequila Fridays.
Yep. WTF.
I love it. It's a great show. Drew and Matt, they're hilarious.
Hi, Drew. Hi, Matt.
They live in Chicago.
Excellent.
And Drew's the tequila guy. Matt's the unofficial whiskey hunter.
Okay.
And they'll bring a tequila and a beer. I'm sorry, a tequila and a bourbon or a whiskey. And they try to pair them well to where they would work well together. And then they talk about those.
Okay.
And one of the things they do near the end of the show, it's a patented thing, so we can't ever do it.
Okay.
And right now you'd hear.
Oh, okay.
And it's called the quick sips.
Okay.
So what they do is, and Drew has a really long, cool explanation, but
of course it does.
You take a drink of the whiskey, and before it's finished, you take a drink of the tequila. And then the palate cleanses, and they take a drink of the tequila, and before it finishes, they take a drink of the whiskey. Because whatever you have in your mouth prior to what you put in your mouth next affects the flavor of the thing that you are tasting.
Okay.
Right?
Logical.
So they do that with both directions of the tequila and the whiskey. And it's funny how they get so many different things. But one of the other problems is a lot of times the whiskey will be like 120 proof and the tequila will be 80 proof.
Okay.
So they have a calculation that's something like the amount of the alcohol that you put in your mouth equates to the heat of the other alcohol that you put in your face hole. So you have to, increase or decrease, whichever one. So one has to overpower. And they have this whole thing about it. And
sounds very interesting.
Matt on the show, Drew's like, that tastes like tequila.
Okay.
Right. And he
sounds like my guy.
He's more like me on the side of tasting, where or Drew is that way. If I said Matt, I meant Drew. Drew is more like me. Like he has some good flavor profile. But when Matt tastes something, Matt's like, first of all, his voice is very subdued as he talks, which is he's so soothing when you're listening. And he'll say something like, I taste cinnamon. Not normal cinnamon.
Oh, wow.
This is cinnamon on a Tuesday. And he has like these great explanations that just crack me up every time. So since we're talking about shows, Beers with Brian, Tasting Tequila with Brad, definitely go check out the Whiskey Tequila podcast wherever you get your podcast. Listen to Drew and Matt. If you like whiskey and you like tequila and you like drinking on Fridays, it's a great show to watch.
Okay. Not related, but
similarly?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So this week in the news, the late, great Ozzy Osbourne passed away.
And Hulk Hogan today.
And Hulk Hogan passed away today. And Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away this week as well. Focusing on Ozzy Osbourne as it relates to the show. Back in, I want to say 2010, that may not be accurate, but he agreed to have his DNA sequenced.
Okay.
And in the DNA sequencing, they determined that he metabolized alcohol at a higher rate than the average human. And so, when you look at Ozzy Osbourne and kind of how, by appearance, he looked kind of trashed, he was able to metabolize and probably drink more than most humans because his body just processed it faster.
And I don't know who my real
I feel like
father is.
you might be on the same level.
I don't know who my real father is.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if Ozzy was ever in Wabash, Indiana in 68.
Perhaps he was.
Yeah. I was 76 years old.
Yeah. When I heard that story, I'm not joking. I thought of you. I'm like, wow, I wonder if Brad falls into that category because you consume a lot of tequila.
I do, but I'm gonna relate that to another 76-year-old.
Okay.
That looks freaking phenomenal. That played at Ozzy's show and said, knowing how sick that Ozzy was, he was amazed at how well he put on a show in front of those people, and it really showed how professional he was, and then how emotionally tied to what he did, because when he got in front of the people, it was turned on.
Yeah.
And he always turned it on. And you'd see Ozzy somewhere and hear him talk, and he's like,
right.
But when he sang, by golly, you could hear he pronunciated and everything much better, right? So the person I'm speaking of also drinks a lot of tequila. 76-year-old Sammy Hagar.
Well, how about that?
October 13th, he'll be 76 years old. And I'm telling you. And Dolly Parton, I believe, is 76 years old.
I believe she is, yeah.
And Bill Clinton.
Okay.
He doesn't look as good as Sammy.
Well,
He lived with Hillary.
You can blame it on something. I think that might factor in.
Yeah. It depends on what the definition of is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's so true right there.
What else you got?
That's all I got. I'm excited about your new show.
Thanks.
I'm excited about our show's name change and what we got going on. And I'm still very excited about tequila.
All right. Well, with that, my friend, cheers to you. Thank you for watching another episode of Indiana Success Happy Hour. We look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Brian and Brad. Grab your seat. Real talk served with a boozy beat. Tune in, don't even blink, 'cause real estate makes us drink.